been working. I've been trying to be the best security threat imaginable, right? Imaginable. Sorry, I had to plug you guys up. I know we haven't been on this channel in quite some time. I really am sorry about that. I've been dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. I've been dealing with, my puppy. My puppy has been a little crazy today. Well, she was a little crazy last night. And then today, it's like I've been working, and she was just whimpering and everything like that. So I couldn't understand. So I'd get on the floor and play with her, and I'd hold her, and then she'd want to be down, and then she'd want to cry when I started going back to work. So then I decided that it was probably easier just for me to take her bed and stick into the chair next to me, and that worked all morning. So I could get some of my paperwork done. As many of you know, I'm working on court paperwork and have been working on court paperwork for a little minute now. I just wanted to say to Ren, I love these things. These are a 3-pack of little doggy fleeces. Oh, they're so soft. And I got this one, a brown one, and a pink one. It was so sweet. And look what else she got. I mean, she got me 2 of these. These are Octa like little attachments for tripods and everything else that can go on there. So I have multiple phones. I've been using several different ones, and none of them work. This is the only one that I'm finding works for the phones. So having these, because you guys know I have several tripods, she got me 2 of these. So I've got one for both tripods. I got one for the light tripod that I can take with me on the road, and I got one for my regular one that I keep, that I travel with. So this is amazing right here. She got me another one of these. I had one for one of my computers, but my new computer I don't have one for. And this is a super, super important piece that I need because I'm missing a lot of stuff on it. So this even has the adapter for the new computer or the old computer. And look at that, the card readers. This right here is so important because I'm always using different cameras and stuff like that. So Ren really outdid herself. I am so thankful. Thank you, Ren. God bless you for this. I don't understand why this won't fit in. It's not fitting in right. Oh, there we go. And look at that. It just fits in like this. You put it like that so you don't lose it. And now it works for your C and your Mac. So it works for both of them. So this right here is a travel size, because this right here is smaller than the one that I had previously, and I love this. I love this piece right here. Some labels. You guys know I use these for the cases as well as my court case. We got a good, look at that, 140 speed. These are the ones for the cameras and the videos for the cameras. If you don't have one with a high speed on it, it shuts your camera down while you're recording video. And then of course pepper spray. So we have pepper spray. I'm going to travel with this one. And I do have to have one for travel, and I have to have one on my key ring because sometimes I don't travel with my keys. So I've got one on the keys. Now I have one to travel with, and so this is going to go in my travel bag. And again, just a big shout out to Ren for everything. She's been very gracious and bought Delilah a toy as well. I love these things. These things are so cute. These things are so cute. So definitely love it. Definitely love it. It's nice. It's nice. So thank you, Ren. Thank you. And everything here will definitely be used without a doubt. So this is the channel that we kind of just shoot the breeze on, guys. I don't really have a whole lot that I'm going to be going over. Let me put this back in the box because I don't want to lose it. Let me get it all put back. I love, if I can keep these things in the boxes, it's always so much easier to travel with these boxes. They pack better in the suitcase and in the backpack. So I like them. Yesterday was kind of our Trump day, and with everything going on there covering that particular case, it's been crazy to say the least. Hearing, I've had an opportunity to look at a lot of footage, okay? A lot of footage from party or attendees, not law enforcement footage, attendee footage, real time footage of what was going on there. And I listened to Dan Bongino, and Dan Bongino used to be in the Secret Service. I know him and his wife, and they were on a program, and he was talking, not they, him. He was talking on the program about his experience with Secret Service. And when he started going through, like, one of the things was the lady that's always there. She is short. She's about as short as I am, and she's a Secret Service woman. She, in all fairness, does look a little out of place there. She's always has, but she's good at what she does. I don't ever want anybody misunderstanding. She's good at what she does. She went through all the stuff just like everybody else. She's a Secret Service, but the problem is she's short. And that is really bad when they are, they're there to protect the president, which is very tall, right? So the only position she can be in is one that covers his side, his organs over here or his organs over here because of her height. Still not necessarily appropriate for the size that Donald Trump is. They have been requesting more and more Secret Service prior to this. I explained to you guys when we were in Virginia, something was going on there. There was a lot of law enforcement personnel that were on the ground in the trees. I had never seen such a display of law enforcement. And then I didn't see that display of law enforcement at Doral, and I was not in Pennsylvania when this took place. But I can tell you, I've been to enough rallies to know that that was entirely too close to the president with a straight shot. Many people are believing this is an inside job, but not Secret Service inside job with the police department. So how this all works is whenever there's an area that's located, we're going to get off this because, again, I just wanted to finish up what I learned related to this case. So Secret Service typically reaches out to law enforcement, local law enforcement, and start going over what their procedures and stuff are, where they're going to need to have men at, and things like that. Those two people up on that roof, I'm not sure that the snipers that were up there, I'm not sure those were Secret Service. I know mainstream media is putting out that they were Secret Service that made the shot, the kill shot for the assailant. I don't believe it is. I think those were local police. I think that was their local, SWAT type of team that was on those roofs. I don't think that was Secret Service. And why do I say that? Because I reviewed a lot of footage. And I'll have to go back and I may put this up here on this channel or not. I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet until after I hear from the investigative aspect of this case. Due to the sensitivity of this and the fact that I want to know what happened. And I want them to be honest. And I have a hard time, unfortunately, the FBI worries me in any investigation, okay? For a variety of reasons when it comes to Donald Trump specifically. Not the men and women that are over here at my FBI building in Sarasota or the one in Tampa. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the FBI agents that would be leading this in particular investigation and the hierarchy in the FBI. I have lost faith in. So it scares me that the FBI is doing this investigation. Quite frankly, I pray to God that we have good agents that don't have a political bone in their body and are going to do this investigation correctly. But there are several key points that I have a problem with. And it doesn't have to do with the fact that building should have been secured. The building should have been secured. It was entirely too close to President Trump and had a direct line of sight from that rooftop directly to him. So I have a problem with why that was not secured. Now, people in the rally were saying that they were trying to get law enforcement's attention while they were there because they could clearly see this man walking up, some type of ladder that was attached to the side of the building. I don't think he brought his own ladder. Most of those warehouse type things, because a lot of their equipment's on the roof, they have built-in stairs on these metal buildings that take like electricians and the air conditioning people and stuff like that. You know, some people have, you know, big stacks up there that need, you know, smoke stacks, air stacks, stuff like that need to be worked on. And so it's not common, it's not uncommon to have like a ladder, like almost soldered, or, you know, whatever. I'm saying soldered, but you guys know what I'm talking about, you know, affixed to the side of the building. So I think it was a situation like that. First, how did this guy that was from 40 miles away know that building was going to be unsecure? That was a real risk for him to drive that way with his artillery, without knowing that that particular building would be unsecure for him to walk up it. This is not somebody that's from that area. This is somebody that literally lived in Bethel Park his entire life, or mostly. I mean, I think that the mom bought the house. The mom and dad bought the house in, I think it was 1998. Did I send that paperwork over to my, give me just a second. Let me see if I got that paperwork. I might have sent it through Messenger to myself because, excuse me, I was talking about it yesterday. And it does not appear, so it's in this phone, so I apologize about that. So we have, they purchased the house, I believe it was the late 90s when his mom and dad purchased the house that he lived in, but he's been there for a really long time. So that's the first question, is how would he know that building was going to be unsecured and he could literally climb up it and carry out this act? Now, here's the most problematic for me personally when it comes to this. So I previewed some attendees' footage, and they saw, after they saw the man going up the ladder, they were trying to tell law enforcement about it. When you're at these rallies, they are so loud. So even though you're trying to get law enforcement, they typically have a piece in their ear. All law enforcement has something in their ear, and that's how they're listening to what's going on there. So they have somebody most likely talking in their ear while you're trying to get their attention, and there's all of this noise going on, the radiant noise from the rally itself, just people talking back and forth. You know, the music's always playing. When somebody's not talking, there's always music on the intercom and coming out of the speakers. So it makes it a little difficult. I mean, law enforcement knows you're talking to them. They know you're pointing at something. They are not understanding what the words that are coming out of your mouth. They can hear noise coming out of your mouth, but they can't hear what you're saying and those types of things until you are belly to belly with that officer. So I don't know if people were trying to get their attention from the stands, or if somebody physically walked up to them and said, look, there's somebody walking up that to that building with a gun. I don't know. It doesn't sound like that was the case, but it does sound like a lot of people were trying to get law enforcement's attention. Why they didn't get it, I'm going to give them a benefit of the doubt and say that it had something to do with the level of noise inside there, unless we can corroborate that somebody physically walked up to an officer and said, look, you got a man with a gun walking up there. I think that the noise might have something to do with this particular, why law enforcement wasn't understanding or didn't act quick enough. So we have him on that building. We don't know how he knew that building was accessible. That's number one. Number two, the reason why I think that those were not Secret Service officers is because I watched with my own eyes that sniper look in his eye scope. Look at his eye scope toward the direction of the shooter. Not once, but twice. Not once, but twice. That officer looked in that scope. I physically watched him look in that scope. There's no way he would have missed that man on the roof with his scope and him being that close. There's no way. And he still allowed that man to pop off shots before he returned fire. That is a problem for me. Twice he looked in that scope. Twice. Before he fired. He allowed people to get shot in that rally. I watched it myself. That's why I don't believe the person on that roof was Secret Service, because I believe this was something that was internal with their own police department there in Pennsylvania. This is the governor's problem. And the governor needs to come out and start speaking about it. Because this is his men in blue. I almost guarantee it. I'm waiting for the reports to come out. They're telling us to wait for the reports to come out. It's hard for me because of everything I reviewed. There was something majorly wrong in Pennsylvania. I go to these rallies all over this country, and what I saw was very problematic for me. Very problematic for me. So I don't know what's going to happen with this investigation. And yes, Cynthia, and the fact that Secret Service had requested multiple times for additional personnel, and they were denied. This was the perfect storm that was concocted, in my opinion, by people that wanted him out. And I do believe this went all the way back to the Biden administration because of the way things all worked out. Denial of Secret Service agents, kind of what they did on January 6th, right? Sorry, not sorry. They asked for more security around that building, and they were denied. He asked for more security that day. He was denied. I'm sorry. This goes to the top. This goes absolutely to the top. I absolutely understand why the biggest donor of President Biden withdrew $90 million from his campaign. Absolutely understand why now. And thank you, whoever you were that did that. God bless you, because you put your country before politics. And whoever that $90 million donor is, thank you. Thank you for doing the right thing because it was the right thing to do, not because it was the easy thing to do. Yes, they lost $90 million over this this incident. They sure did. And we know they did. So that's why I keep saying to people that, and it's not to be facetious, it's not to be arrogant, it's not to prod the liberal side or the liberal base or the progressive base. It's just this shenanigans that they just pulled off just cost them the elections, and it did. There is no way that Trump is not going to win by an absolute 100% landslide in 4 months. So no matter how many people at this point go out and vote, it's not going to change the Richter at all. They have lost this election. And it is, I'm glad God watched over President Trump, and I'm glad that we are going to see a victory in November. We need to see a victory in November because we matter. The American people matter. And I can guarantee you there's not one politician that's running for the highest seat of the land that gives a shit more about the regular Joe than President Trump. And I know that that's debatable because you guys have, some of you guys believe some of the propaganda going on about him. But I think I'm a fairly good, judgment of character. I mean, I get some things wrong here and there, but I've been on this particular side since 2015. I think I got a good understanding of who Donald Trump is at this point, as a person, as a human being. And I absolutely see his vision and trust his vision. And that's really all I'm going to say about this. And we're going to get on to true crime just a little bit. So I haven't really watched a whole lot with Sebastian Rogers at all. Oh, let me say hi to everybody. I haven't even said hi. We got 200 people in here. By the way, guys, don't forget to go out there. Give me a thumbs up. Come back in here. Tell me your number. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what temperature it is there. I can tell you what the temperature is here. It sucks and it's hot. Actually, it's not as bad as it could be, right? It's not as bad as it could be. The grass is growing. I need to buy another lawnmower. I need to get a starter for my rider, but I think I'm going to get another push lawnmower because my push lawnmower sucks. It just doesn't work. So I think I'm going to get a push lawnmower and a gas-powered weed eater so I don't have to worry about that dipshit that comes around here and mows my yard because he really pissed me off the last time. And I told him, don't come back. I did. I got a freaking strip of 3-inch high grass in my backyard. One strip. Like, how do you miss that? Irritating. But I digress. I digress. So we don't have a whole lot, breaking in the Sebastian Rogers case, other than the stuff we know. The mom and stepfather are hiding out and, running away like cowards. They obviously feel guilty. Their behavior shows guilt, so they must be feeling guilty about something. The Bauer Sox, same difference. Kathy came out trying to, make things crystal clear, right? And it fell short of believability because she's speaking it when she apparently has proof of it, but won't proffer the proof to the public in order to confirm or corroborate her statements. So I'm going to say that her statements, because we know at least one of them, are an absolute lie. If you guys don't know about Hindsight 2002 on TikTok, Hindsight did, actually I'll put it up here. I want you guys, now, you know what, go over to Hindsight 2002 and check that out. Let me see if I can find it, and I'll show you what channel it is so you guys can know. Yeah, I know that MFer, but don't want to. Good gracious. Okay. Hindsight 2002. Here it is. And I forget which one it is. Ah, there it is. It's this one right here, this green one right here, where it says Kathy Bauer Sox says 10:30 right here. This one right here, and this is on Hindsight. It's HINDSIGHT 2002. And it's this one right here, the one with the green, like the teal green tab right here. Now, oops, I don't want to play it for you, but you're going to want to watch that, okay? Because this is where Hindsight brought in went through all of the interviews and picked out every time Chris admitted to calling his mother. We've got eyewitness statements and testimony from neighbors saying that it was not just Seth and Katie there. It was Kathy Bauer Sox, and the time on that. Now, we know that Seth got there between 8:30 and 8:45, 8:45 being the absolute latest he could have been there. And then we've got the neighbors saying it was around 8:30 that they drove by this, the commotion going on the outside of the Proudfoot home, and Seth was there, Katie was there, and Kathy was there. So Kathy is absolutely 100% lying about showing up at Katie's house after 10:30. So if she's willing to lie about that, when we have corroborated it and confirmed it every which way but Sunday, would she be lying about whether she was up at Worsham's 15 minutes before Sebastian disappeared, or was reported to have disappeared, or walked out, or ran away, or whatever Katie's tried to tell everybody? Yeah, she would. Would she lie about her car being on the outside of their home down the road the night that there were lights? And then somebody sends me in my email a blown up. Now I've got to do this myself to see if I can recreate it, but it is interesting. I have to be honest with you, it is quite interesting. So let me get up here. Let me find the photo. It's gonna blow your socks off, folks. It's gonna blow your socks off. And you may have seen it. Right here. They've blown it up, and they can see a figure near the light source, removing the idea that this could have been a firefly, right? We knew it wasn't a firefly anyways because it was very clear. So there is a darker impression around the light source. You can clearly see a figure. You can clearly see a figure. Now, I'm always worried about people doctoring photos, so unless I can recreate it, it's rumored. And I haven't attempted to recreate it yet. But it's nice to see everybody. Me and you, Dawn, Lulu. Oh, Lulu is Nana. It's nice to see you, Danielle. Karen, SPED teacher, Elizabeth, Dixie, Miss Lee, Mama 3. It's nice to see you. Oh, Rusty's up in the house. How you doing, old Rusty? Yeah, your ears must have been burning. I was talking to Olivia about you today. Because I'm gonna have to go back to Tennessee, and I was telling her I think I'm gonna have to bring my mom because I don't want to leave my dog. You'll be grand fur babysitting. I don't know how we're gonna make that work. We're gonna have to figure out it. But I'm gonna have to bring you to Tennessee. Oh, there's our turkey man. Gobble gobble. Be Betty fan is up in the house. It's nice to see you, Gypsy, Elfig, Kendra. It's nice to see you all. I decided to come here for the first show today because I haven't been on this channel for a while, and I just wanted to kind of, unwind because I've been working on a lot of legal documentation and working through this process. And of course, it sucks like a lot of time out. So it's like I've got to do some research on the Sebastian Rogers case before I go live on the main channel, and I got to get some talking points for the main channel, and I got to review my notes for the other, I got 10 plus shows that that are rolling through, but some of those have already been staled out, like new information came up. And so it was just one of those things where it's like a day late and a dollar short. So I got to go through and put all my notes together and mark off all the shows that we don't need at this point. I just haven't had time to even do that. So I might be doing something later this afternoon on the main channel, just going over emails. I have a litany of emails that have came in all of the sudden. And I just probably will be going over those because it's easier for me to go through them, read them out loud, everybody hears them, and answer the question for the ones I can, and answer the question as opposed to writing 20 or 30 emails. So hopefully I get all your questions answered in once. So that's kind of where we are today. Hey Sheila, it's nice to see you. Jen, it's nice to see you. Miss Moore, Stephanie, Michelle, River, it's nice to see you, my love. I hope you're doing well today. Zigzag, it's great to see you here. I think I said hi to you, Rebecca. If I didn't, hey. And then we have Sorta Morta, Cynthia, Lois, it's nice to see you. Mindy, Nighthawk. Who else? She ran Colin Wildfire. It's nice to see you. Yes, there were some definitely balls dropped. Crystal, it's nice to see you. Trump will always, #1, have this girl vote. Yeah. You know what's so funny is when we were at and Penny and everybody else that's in here, it's nice to see you. Oh, hey, Aaron. It's nice to see you as well. It's crazy because, for the longest time, everybody, and this is the crazy part, even back in 2015, I was knocking doors, I was doing calling, I was at their headquarters in Sarasota calling. I was really, really, really super, feet first involved in the Trump campaign in 2015. And, everybody kept saying women don't like Trump. I have to totally disagree because literally all the people that I was working with to do these call sessions and everything were all headed by women. And when we went to Dorel, Dorel National just recently, it was me, Pam, and Mags, and it's we had literally there's 3 women diehards, and I'm thinking, there's so many women out there that look past all of this wedge issues about, he treated women are you kidding me? I'm a female. I deal with misogynists literally on the daily, okay? I deal with people that are, some Yahoo on here, it thinks it's funny to take whenever I'm being stalked and producing a video of me literally being stalked and in fear for my safety here at my house and thinks that that's content and thinks it's funny. Okay? This is a man that is absolutely despicable and deplorable. You know what I'm saying? I deal with it on a daily here. He's abusive. He beats women. He drinks a lot, and he lives in California. Isn't that right, Mark? So, anyways, it's just, we deal with it on a daily basis, and I can tell you I've never had to deal with it from Trump. If Trump says something, like Tut says, Rosie O'Donnell needs to lose weight. You know, some of the things he says, I'd probably say. You know? So, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I'm just saying. Trump's reputation in New York is he hires a lot of women and treats them with respect and kindness. Absolutely he does. But you don't hear that on mainstream media, right? You don't hear that on mainstream media. What they do is they pay these people that had contact with them and say, hey, would you be willing to sue them for XYZ money? We'll drop a bag off at your front door with cash. That's what happened, right? You do this, we'll drop some. That's how stuff rolls there. There's no money. Like these people in Congress, they know how to make money trains, like money tracks, disappear, right? So it's sleazy and slimy in Washington. I can tell you that, sleazy and slimy in Washington. And trust me, believe it or not, some of your politicians have some major drug problems and major prostitution problems right now, and you'd be surprised. Absolute substance abuse problems. We've got people have literally voted these people in office, and they're drug addicts. Just saying. Just saying. We got a bunch of drug addicts running our country. Not all of them, obviously, but believe it or not, there are quite a few. So, what's done in the darkness will be brought to light. Absolutely it will. It will absolutely be brought in light. But you know what? We can take some of this information and see how, even with this shooter, the whole thing with Trump, he was closer than he should have been. And I always take things and I always wonder if it's like a little sign saying Sebastian's a little closer than he should be. And I kind of believe that there might be some stuff to that. But I absolutely believe Chris did the unthinkable to Sebastian in that 17-hour trip. And what do I mean by that? I believe that, in my opinion, I know that his father, Seth believes his son is alive. I want to put that caveat out there. Seth absolutely believes his son alive and that his son is going to come home, and I never want to extinguish that hope. And we have been exploring those possibilities, calling, autistic centers, calling churches, calling Amish places, calling well-known organizations, and talking to people from the Mormon communities. I mean, we've really been, doing some stuff behind the scenes to try to see if there's anything that holds water in a lot of these things, and I'm running up empty. So I really do, and I still want to promote that and stuff like that. I don't want to ever take that hope away from a parent, but when I'm doing a case, I have to do it my way, and my way may not be the parent's way, and my way may take me down or make me feel a little bit different than they do, right? And so in this case, I do not believe that Sebastian is healthy. Okay, I don't believe he's breathing oxygen right now, and that's very hard, especially with a father that has so much hope. And I, again, don't want to diminish his hope in the least, but if I go down his realm of things, which I am going down, it's a lot of work that's not producing a whole lot of results. Now, granted, we're looking at a different route as well, which is a lot of work and not producing a whole lot of results, right? Which I'm thankful for, because again, the route that I'm going down is not ending well for Sebastian, right? And it sucks. But I absolutely believe that Chris vanished Sebastian. Okay? I believe that Sebastian was absolutely 100% transported away from the home around 3:30 in the morning, between 3:30 and 4 o'clock in the morning. I absolutely believe Chris and his parents are the ones that are responsible for removing Sebastian from the home. I believe Katie is the one that did the ultimate deed, but I do believe that it was Chris in that 17 hours that went and picked up Sebastian wherever he had put him And I think he made sure that nobody would ever find Sebastian again. And so we need to find out where that is. The problem is Chris had plenty of time to think about how he was going to do this, how he was going to not have long, because he didn't know whether law enforcement was monitoring his movements or his whereabouts at the time. So he would have had to have been ultra sneaky in how he carried this out, and I absolutely believe he did that, and I absolutely 100% believe that there are others that helped him to carry it out, not just his mom and stepfather. So we have some major issues here, and I'm working through the information I got, and I know it's vague right now, but there's reasons why I'm saying it the way that I'm saying it. And we've got a lot of issues going on here with their entire family, and some of it, you know, I'm having a hard time swallowing, as it is right now. You know, Big D and Little D being involved and stuff like that. I'm really kind of having a hard time with that. Not saying that they haven't, okay? I just want to make sure that I say that clearly. It's not saying that I don't believe that they're involved. It's just I haven't got a concrete connection that they are involved, like I have Chris, Katie, and the Bowersox. There's a reason why Kathy was so triggered to come out and speak after she's kept silent and quiet this entire time. And I think it's the work that we've done. I think the work that we've done has elicited law enforcement knocking on their door. And I truly believe that that law enforcement knocking on their door is what triggered, you know, this. Why can't I put? It's not letting me. It's not letting me pin that message for whatever reason. Oh, let me try it. Let me see if there's something down here. Nope, it's not letting me. Ooh, look at channel activity. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's really nice. Oh, wow. Huh. Didn't know we had channel activity on here. Interesting. So thank you. It's me, Jen. Jen posts Sebastian Drake Rogers, missing 15-year-old white male. 5'5", 120 pounds. If you have any information to the whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers, call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Guys, I will tell you up front, and this is probably going to make some people's heads spin, and I don't care, is I have made the strong position, and I've got to call law enforcement out there to let them know what I'm doing, but I have determined that I think I want to do a protest at Sumner County Sheriff's Office. I want to do a protest at Sumner County Sheriff's Office, bringing awareness to Sebastian Rogers, making sure law enforcement knows we're not going anywhere. It's going to be a protest of love, not hate. And we want to make sure that we are encouraging of law enforcement, not defeating of law enforcement. However, it is time to kind of let them know we are here and we are tired of the silence. So I have made the decision. I am going to start scheduling this protest for August 26th. August 26th is going to be the 6-month milestone of Sebastian Rogers, and we haven't heard from the chief deputy in over 5 months, or would have been over 5 months at that moment. Right now, we haven't heard from the chief deputy, Eric Craddock, in 3.5, 4 months as we speak, and that is absolutely unacceptable to me, and it should be absolutely unacceptable to the true crime community, mainstream media, as well as Sebastian Rogers' own family. So we will be doing it at the Sumner County Sheriff's Department, and I will be getting flyers ready. I will be selecting dates and times. I will be out there all day. And I think August 26th is going to be the best day because that's a day of meaning. We haven't heard from Eric Craddock on that day for over 5 months. Unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Further, I will not fill out any application to do a protest on county property. I hope that that's not going to be where they ask me to do, because I have never filled out an application to exercise my constitutional rights, and I will not start that day or any other day. I'm going to be getting flyers. If anybody wants to come out, it's going to be rain or shine. We go forward. If anybody knows anything about me, it doesn't matter if there's a freaking blizzard or hailstorm. When I have my heart set to it, I go out there. Now, I am bringing the bullhorn, and it's just to make sure that everybody inside the building can hear what we're saying outside the building. That's really it, right? I've got everything I'm going to be saying. It's going to be basically building the case for them, asking them why they haven't done forensics, and demanding that forensics get done and that Seth is cleared of all charges related to this, because they know damn well he had nothing to do with it, and they are playing games. So Chris and Katie don't have the light shined on them, and I'm sick of these games. And I'm sick of these games being deployed by the law enforcement. You know, Seth has a right to be free of this. He has the right to look for his son, and he should have the right to bring people in that can help him, like the Cold Case Foundation and Chris McDonough. He should have the right to bring them in, and he cannot bring them in until he is cleared. So I'm going out there with a heart of love. I want to encourage law enforcement to do the best that they can do. And I also want to bring and find out, you know, and I'll be speaking with law enforcement on my trip at the end of July before this protest. So they'll be well aware of what we're going to do, and I'll probably get an idea of where we can set up and everything when I'm there. But one of the questions I'm going to, you know, be pounding home is that we need, I understand that this is an uncomfortable situation, but we need to have fresh eyes. We need the Cold Case Squad in this in this case. We need their help, and we can only get their help as if Seth is cleared. So, I mean, at any time they can, if Seth, you know, they pull a rabbit out of the hat, you know, and Seth comes out to be like the, you know, the sneaky guy, right, in left field that was able to do all this underhanded stuff while he was in jail with, you know, felons and stuff, you know, then they can always still bring charges, right? This is only to allow him to be able to bring in different people into this case, which I know law enforcement does not want to have to deal with. And I get that, you know, but at the end of the day, they are unfairly keeping a man under a microscope for no good purpose than strategy. And I'm sorry, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. Nanya, get your flippin' ass out of my frickin' chat. Nobody's ever over in your chat. Nobody gives a damn about your commentary. Go back to the fucking trailer park. Leave my room. Why do you guys always have to come here and harass? Nobody gives a shit about your opinion. Obviously. They care about mine, otherwise I wouldn't be here with these people in it. Dum-dum. Sorry, Turkey Man. I was just talking to Turkey Man about how I need to still work on cussing. I'm like, it just rolls off the tongue. And there it goes again. And that just rolls right off the tongue, and it's a word I don't even like anymore. Just rolls off the tongue. Sorry, Turkey Man. Cover your ears. That's what Sonya does. That's what Sonya does. I just get irritated with these idiots. We're talking about something that has nothing to do with them. They have their own damn channels. Go use them. There it goes again. Go use them. Go use them. Stay off mine. Nobody cares about your opinion over here on Bullhorn Betty's channel. I'm sorry I do better than you. I'm sorry it takes you guys months to come up with the numbers I can get in a week, okay? It's not my fault people don't like you, okay? It's not my fault that you bore people out of their mind with all of your nastiness, okay? Not everybody sits around and has 1,000 things to say about one single person, all right? Nobody cares. Get over yourselves. I think Ellie and TBI really messed this case up. I do too, because they believe the parents. First thing you don't do when you have missing kids is believe the parents, because there's a reason why a child is run away from home. Okay? Children don't run away from happy homes, typically. Okay? Are there a few? Yes. But the majority of our runaways are coming from toxic-filled homes. So the minute that this child that would not normally run away, and they knew would not normally run away, ran away, that should be their first clue that something ain't right. You know? It should have been their first darn clue. We had CPS in that home. We had CPS in Summer Wells' home. There should be no excuse for either one of these children to be missing at this moment. None. None. Whatever happened to jury trials and the evidence, whether it be circumstantial, get put before the court? Because everybody's so scared of losing the case, right? And then they sit there and pound it home to people to scare the crap out of people so they can justify why they won't bring a case. Double jeopardy would apply. Okay, let me tell you, DA, something, okay, Mr. DA? Let me tell you something. People out here in the real world that don't care about somebody's voting record or somebody's, record behind the scenes, because we all know it's all about the record, right? You want to make sure you have those good numbers for your next election, don't you, DA? Okay, now that we got that out of the way, what we have a problem with here is that they would rather allow somebody to live their life for 25 years than to attempt to try. Like, if they're going to live their life out here on this, we absolutely want these people prosecuted as soon as possible. I'm wondering if at the 7-year mark of Summer Wells, if they don't start pulling out the stops. TBI has it now. They still haven't gone anywhere with this case, with the Summer Wells case. And it's because Tennessee's broke. And Tennessee doesn't have just the minimal, bare infrastructure, such as internet, throughout their state. They have no way to track people on their devices when they're not at their homes with the Wi-Fi. They don't have a lot of cameras around. And I get it. But, Tennessee wants to be, I get it. But when you become the state that every parent runs to unalive their child, well, maybe different policies and procedures need to go in place in Tennessee. Because I can tell every parent across this, if you want to get away with unaliving your child, go to Tennessee and make sure they can't find the body, and you'll be okay. That's not a good name for any state to have. That's the name that the state of Tennessee is getting. The child unaliving capital. Tennessee. Not a good name. Not a good name. I think the politicians, I think law enforcement, listen, when I come in here and complain about something, I want to make sure that they understand I'm not here just to complain. I'm not here just to hurt or anything like that. At the end of the day, a lot of these things could be fixed with more funding and more training. And so that's going to be my avocation, especially when I'm protesting, is I want to make sure that the politicians in Tennessee know we need funding throughout Tennessee, not just in Hendersonville, not just in Sumner County. All of their law enforcement needs funding. They need funding. They need better training. With funding comes better officers. With better officers comes better trained officers. With better trained officers have better investigations, okay? With better investigations, you get results. It's not rocket science here, and you prosecute. I don't care if it's freaking jaywalking. When you have a parent that cannot produce a child, you find something to throw their ass in jail with until they can talk. Katie should be in jail. Chris Proudfoot should be in jail, okay? Chris Proudfoot has had DCS called on him, and so has Katie. The bottom line is something went on in that house and a child is missing. There's got to be something there that they can throw their ass in, just like Don and Candace. Now, if the state of Tennessee is not even going to throw Don and Candace Wells in jail for the atrocities, the child endangerment, the child neglect, and God knows what other child acts were done, especially to Summer, none of them have gone to jail. Not one, not Don, not Candace, over those charges. But hey, let's take all of their children out of their home, but let's not charge them. Let's just make the Tennessee residents responsible for housing and feeding them at a ridiculous cost. And let's not charge the parents. Let's keep eating it. You know, it doesn't make sense. Tennessee has got it wrong. I'm telling you, Tennessee has it wrong on everything when it comes to children. They need a total overhaul, whatever. You guys get what I'm saying. Of their system. Not just the Department of Children and Family Services, law enforcement, DAs, everything. Everything. What happened to neglect since it's legal? It's not. I don't know. She should be charged with running away from home after her son disappeared. She should be charged with abandonment, if you want my truth. But you're never going to get crap from Tennessee. I'll be surprised. You know what? After I realized that Sebastian most likely is if they can't find one small bone of Sebastian's, his parents are going to get it. His mom and stepdad are going to get away with this. If they don't find one single fragment of Sebastian, I think there's fragments of Sebastian. I think there's evidence. We need to find the evidence. We need to find the evidence. I'm telling you, we need to find the evidence. We got this. We got this. Aw, thank you, Michelle. And Robin, that's so sweet. You got that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hold on one second. Let me go on here. Give me okay. I don't want community monitor. There we go. Let's go to fan funding. Let's see what we got here. I just want to read this because you guys are great. So Sebastian's Army Jen said Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I wish I could pen it, but it wasn't me. Missing 15-year-old white male, 5'5", 120 pounds. Please call 1-800-TBI-FIND with any information. Charge KP with child endangerment. Watch what happens. Yeah, they won't. I want to look. I'm telling you, in this Summer Wells case, when we were all kind of just breaking out in this before the true crime became, something that law enforcement was dealing with, they knew we were coming in, and the state attorney actually sat down with us, and they told us not to record them, and we didn't. And we started talking to them about the case of Summer Wells. And my biggest complaint is, why aren't you charging them with child endangerment? Why aren't you getting the low-hanging fruit to get them off the streets? To get them off the streets. I mean, we're not talking about just making up charges and charging these parents with. We're talking about legitimate charges that these parents should be charged with. And they refuse. They said, well, when we get it out the case all together, I promise you, we'll charge them with everything we can possibly charge them with. Well, that was 6 months after Summer disappeared. We're over 3 years after Summer disappeared. And still not one flipping charge. That's a problem for me. That should be a problem for anybody. So I might have to go back to the DA and say, you guys spoke to me 3 years ago with my team, right? What gives? You promised me you'd bring charges. You can't tell me that there's no endangerment charge, no neglect charges. Why are you letting these parents live their life like this? Why do they get to live and Summer doesn't? I'm sick of these. I'm sick of this. I really am so sick of this. It's frustrating. It's frustrating for you. It's frustrating for me. It's frustrating for a whole lots of us, right? But what do we do? Until they start giving us, you know what? They won't even give us. They won't even allow us to help. Law enforcement are so pompous and so arrogant that they would literally allow a case to go cold for years. Then to give us a little bit of something where we can nip onto to help drive a case and start bringing in new leads. They're idiots sometimes. I'm sorry. It's top brass. It's top brass. They forgot what it was like to police. That's the problem. They've been so far removed from real policing. Some of these top brass never even had one day out in the field. Many people are like, that's all hard to believe. No, it's not. frustrating. It's very frustrating. All right, guys, I'm not going to bend your ear too much. I just needed a break. I've been working on court papers all day. I've been making some really good progress. I think it's going to be fairly good. I think we're going to be moving somewhere with this one. We'll see. Only time will tell, and I got to go before a judge. I'm going to be scheduling another hearing before a judge here in the near future, but I'd like to get one more document submitted, and then once I do that, I can add it to my current hearing schedule. So we'll see how it all works out. Just pray for me, pray for the victims of these families, pray for our country. We have a lot of prayers. Pray for everybody in my chat. You guys are all going through something, you know. We all always go through something. Sometimes it's a little easier to deal with than others, and so prayers for everybody that's struggling with something today. You know, I pray to God that your day gets a little better, you know. I pray that you get strength and comfort. And it's time for me to take my pooch out. So I love you guys. God bless you. We'll see you soon. And for all those that contributed to today's show, I really do appreciate it. I love you guys. We'll see you soon. We will see you. Oh, Osmus. Is it Osmus? Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. And so we will see you guys on the other channel in probably about an hour or two. I want to get some more of this, knock some more of these arguments out of the way. And then I'll research. We'll probably, you know, I think the best thing for me to do when I'm working this hard is just go through emails with you guys. I think it'll help answer some questions, help get us some perspective. So if you guys want to get those in, don't make them long-winded, okay? If you make them long-winded, I'm going to have to skip over you. I have, like Misty, Misty used to always send me these long-winded emails. So I need to go back through Misty's emails. But if you're in the crowd, don't send me long ones. Send me like, I'm limiting you to 2 paragraphs so I can, because some of the stuff Misty says is like spot on, but at least some of it, you know, some of it gets a little creative. She's got a creative mind, okay? She's got a creative mind, but I do I identify quite a few through those. Lisa, be always, a lot of yous. Eminem, you know, that's Eminem 1 and Eminem 2. You guys are great. I call them M&Ms because that's their initials. They know who they are. You guys have all been really, really great. I know a lot of people have been sending me a lot of information and expressing to me their perspectives or a nuance or something like that. I had somebody send me grammar updates. I can tell you, if you don't want me cussing you out, don't fix my grammar. I talk the way I talk. Whether you guys think I'm professional, non-professional, I don't really give a crap. Do not, if you do, and you do it on here, you're being blocked. You do it on my email, you're being blocked. And many of you guys would like to see, you know, some of you guys hated me at one time and now like me. So I once you're blocked, you're blocked. I don't unblock you, and I won't unblock you. So you need to consider this highly before you make these decisions, because you'll never be able to talk on this without creating a new account or a new email. Because once you're blocked on Bullhorn Betty, I'm telling you, it takes an act of Congress to get your butts unblocked. What are you up to? What do you have in your... I gotta go. Love you guys.